Hey everybody, it's Jesse, and I'm back after being sick most of the week. Still not 100%, so today's stream will probably be shorter than normal. I'm thinking like maybe an hour or less. I'm going to do my best. My throat hurts a bit, so I do have some tea here. So if you hear a slurping noise, that's me sipping my tea. And I'm pretty tired, so this may be more of a relaxed type of stream today. But I guess I'm going to start out by going over some of the pull requests that I got quickly, and then we'll see. I left off working on getting the logo and the title to look right. So it just needs a little bit more adjustment, and then I think it'll be okay. So maybe we'll finish that up and see how much time we have left. Also, I want to say thank you to everyone. A lot of you either on Twitter or in the Slack channel said, let me know you were concerned or you're praying for me or everything. So I really appreciate that. That was really, I mean, that was nice. I wasn't feeling well, and to see all that support from all of you, that was really cool. So I appreciate that. And also, some really awesome news. The freeCodeCamp channel now has over 200,000 subscribers. So really excited about that. That was cool. I've been keeping an eye on it lately because it was getting close to 200,000, and I was just waiting for it. And it happened at some point while I was sick. I just noticed it yesterday. But that's really cool. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. I feel kind of proud that maybe I've contributed a bit with my live streams to subscribers. I know there's a lot of other great people that do videos on this channel as well, and they're responsible for most of those subscribers. But that's really cool. That's a lot of people. So hopefully we keep growing, because I think this channel has a lot of really great information to help people learn how to code. So the more people that know about it, the better off they'll be. All right, hey everyone. I see some of you in the live chat now. All right. Cool. Thanks. Yes, John said your live streams rock. Thanks. Thanks, Blake. I appreciate everybody who's saying saying hi. Hey, how's it going? Alright, so let's I'm gonna try really hard to stay focused. Like I said, I'm pretty tired. Hopefully the caffeine in this tea will help me wake up a bit more as well. Alright, so there were a lot of changes so we had 2 pull requests that I think we only had 2. Yeah, I don't think I pulled any in while I was at home. I was kind of out of it, so I tried not to do that much coding, so I didn't mess anything up. I did work on a project for my React course, which I didn't really get that much accomplished on. Redux is confusing me quite a bit right now. I'm sure I'll get it. I'll keep working on it. But anyway, Nathaniel submitted 1 pull request, and he added to the git ignore, which is awesome and very useful. So thank you for that. And then I guess the next pull request is really huge. So I'm not really going to go over it all because it would be so much. I guess I'll just kind of really briefly summarize some of what was in it. And you can check it out I'm gonna double check on my other screen what the number of that pull request was. I'm pretty sure it was 50. Yeah, so pull request 50 is quite large. So just from memory, I'm going to try to sum this up. Sorry if I missed anything. And this is from Matt. A lot of the data so basically, a lot of things have been extracted out from the views so that all the views are much smaller. I think almost every view is 100 lines or less now. So there's more components. So see, we have a few more components now. We have all these data files. Also, another change is Matt has switched out the regular map for Lodash's map. And he linked, you could check it out in the pull request. He provides a link to a comparison as to which one's faster, which is cool. The only thing I just noticed, I didn't notice this when I was pulling this in, and I just noticed it a few minutes ago, was it looks like we're importing all of Lodash. And so it might be better, since we're only using, as far as I can tell, in this component, we're only using map. We could probably just import map. I mean, that's like a really small, if you look at the Lodash GitHub repo, to import map, it's, I don't know, like the entire file is like less than 50 lines, and 80% of it is just comments explaining what it does. So it'd be a really small amount of code to import instead of everything. So I'll probably change that at some point. If somebody really wants to get a pull request in on your GitHub profile, maybe you're just starting out, that would be something really easy. Just look up how to, on Lodash's documentation, how to just import that and switch it over. I think it's not just map though. I think filter is also replaced where we are using it. So are we using it here? We're not using it here, but anywhere where we're using filter, then filter will need to be pulled in as well. So maybe I'll, if I remember, maybe I'll open up an issue kind of explaining that, and then that way you all can let me know what you think about it as well. Okay, so let me show you what I've done. So I did make sure to update the repo before I started the stream, so everything should be up to date on GitHub. I think I may have forgotten to update the repo at the end of Monday's stream. So sorry about that if I did. I guess I could scroll back up through my terminal to double check. But anyway, this basically, I was just working on this. This is where we left off before. So you can see right now I have Resource Center over here to the right. We now have this menu icon is visible and working, and then our logo is here. The only thing that needs change is when I move this over here, for some reason it just made the header a lot taller than it needs to be. So I'd like to shrink this up a little bit, move everything up, and then I think it'll look all right. I really like this. I like the logo. I think that looks nice. I'm not exactly sure what to do with this, so that's why I just put it over here. And in any case, we'll have to figure out what to do on a small screen, because that's not what we want. So still have some things to decide. But I think this looks good enough at this point. If we have time, we can always adjust that more later on. Oh, cool. I just checked the live chat really quickly, and it looks like Matt, you're MFC 88, right? I'm pretty sure you are. Sorry if I'm forgetting things. I am out of it. I'm usually pretty good about remembering what everybody's handles are on YouTube. But anyway, Matt offered to help with Redux. Thanks. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I may be asking you a question. I'm not sure. I really I read through so much documentation on, I think, Tuesday. I just sat in a recliner with my laptop and took naps and read Redux documentation pretty much all day. So yeah, so I'll be asking about that, and thanks for offering to help. Sebastian said I should add some margin left to poster resources in poster. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it should probably have this line up on all the pages with this. I'm not sure why it's not lining up right now. I'll have to look. I probably just don't have it within the same container or something. Okay. So first, let's get this to a point where we like how it looks, and then we'll go from there. So since this was, when I added this, that's when this got a lot taller. Then I'm going to start by looking here to see what's going on with the margins and padding, and it's probably something to do with padding. Let me make this a bit smaller, and you should be able to see, as I hover over, we'll be able to see the margins in orange. Okay, so we definitely have some more margin than we need going on. Okay, and our div also has just some default margin. So I guess we could, actually I think that div's auto-generated, so it's going to be a bit more difficult to get to this div. So let's just worry about the H1. When I say auto-generated, I mean this div is added in one of the MaterialUI components, so I don't really have direct access to it because I don't want to edit the components directly. So it'll just, and there's no unique identifier here, so it'll be a lot easier just to try to adjust this H1, which I'm passing in this H1. So I can put styles right on that. It's the only H1 on the page, so I can even reference that right in the SAS file, and I know it'll apply here. here. Yeah, so let's just try to get rid of all the margin and see what it looks like. Okay, so with margin 0, that's not terrible. It looks like it's not exactly centered though. Why is it not? That's odd. So I'm just checking this out. I'm not sure why why this div is bigger. Okay, guess it doesn't matter. If we add I may have to actually edit this div. Let's see. Let's just try to, let's add a bit of margin on the top. I want to see if it would, basically what I want to happen is to push this down without making the header bigger. What I think might happen is the header will just get pushed down. Hopefully not, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, nice. Awesome. So cool. I don't really like trying to eyeball this and just guess at it being centered. I could probably do some math and get it a little bit closer, but that looks about right. We can zoom in a bit. Maybe. So not letting me zoom in. That's weird. Wow. For some reason I can't zoom. You know, normally you could, if you have a Mac, you know, you could zoom in with the trackpad. Can't do it. Okay, well, at least that works though. So if we go with margin, what do we end up with? 5? Okay, 5 pixels. Let me do it. Let me do it in the code. I think we added an app. Yeah. So I already have some styles on that H1. So let's go with margin and 5 for the top. Top, right, bottom, left. Alright, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I'm still not 100% sure about this being over here, but we'll go for it for now. Another I guess an alternative that I have seen is we'd probably have to really change how this bar works and maybe make our own component, but you can have, so like the menu can still stay out here on the side, but the logo and the title would be within, you know, these bounds of the container. So the maximum, you know, there's a max width here. I can't remember what it is, maybe 2,000 pixels. So they would stay here within those bounds. That might look better. Yeah, this looks, at the very least, it needs a bit more margin, I think. Which let's add that in while we have this up. Let's add 8 pixels. And let's see. Alright, that's better. At least it doesn't get covered up. Okay, not bad. I'm going to check the live chat quickly just to see what you all think. Okay, John makes a good point. Well, several good points. I'm going to read one of them out. It says, because you're using the font size control with the width of the screen, that margin might align differently at different widths. I don't think I'm using it for this one. So let me make sure. Unless you were talking about this one instead, which I think I am using that, I guess, responsive font for that one. Okay. And I actually, on this page, I do have this aligned. So probably earlier Sebastian had mentioned that this heading was kind of outside the bounds of where all the rest of the content was on another page, so I think on posters. So you can see that here. So I'm almost positive now that I saw the other page. It's just a matter of where I put this H. I think it's H2, of whether or not I put it inside the same container. So that'll be an easy fix. Okay, well let's commit this and then move on. We still have a good amount of time left. We're not even a half hour in, so we'll move on to something else. And where's my? There it is. So we'll check it out. What did we change? App and posters. Yep, that's what I wanted to change. And see, I don't know what I changed in posters.js. Oh, you know what? I changed some. Was it earlier? I changed something earlier, right before I started the stream, and I hadn't committed that yet, so that's what it is. So we're going to commit this. We're going to use AM flag so that we can commit and add and put a message at the same time. So let's say adjust title margins. Yep, that works. Alright, great. Passed all the tests. Made it through linting. So now we can get push origin master. Alright, awesome. So now let's go in. Since Sebastian brought it up, let's fix this. So if anyone has any objections to this being aligned here, if for some reason you think it looks better being a few pixels to the left, let me know quickly before I start changing it. Otherwise, I'm going to proceed with adjusting it wherever this problem is found. Yeah, it looks like, Sebastian, you're absolutely right. That's what I was just checking out as well. The H2 should be inside a column, and then it will give everything the correct alignment. let's see. So let's put this in a column. Actually, I usually do try to put things in columns because I have had problems with this before with similar issues. I guess I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe I was just trying to go quickly and just get something on the page. That's probably what happened. Wow. I am really off. No, I want it just as 12. Okay. Oh man, I can't even copy and paste today. There we go. Alright, awesome. So that fixes that. So let's just go through quickly and see if it's doing that on any other pages. Alright, let's check out home. Yep, it's doing it on home. So let's see. All right, and logos. Letterhead. Okay, planning guide. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm trying to look. This component is really different than it was before the last pull request. So, trying to figure out where everything is. Planning guidelines. There we go. All right. Alright, great. And what do you have? I think there's only one more page. It's a glossary page. This, I'm not sure. I'm just going to check that page. Yep, it's not in line. Alright, awesome. Okay, so that should be all the pages. So now we have consistency there. So thanks for bringing that up, Sebastian. I do have a question in the live chat, so I'm just going to take this question right now since I forgot to set my timer right now it would be, if I had set my timer at the beginning, it would be right about the time where I'd take my 5 minutes to look at the live chat. So I'm going to do that. So what says, I'm starting college this year and want to get into programming. I just started practicing yesterday on freeCodeCamp, so I'm excited to see where I go with this. Oh, awesome. Sorry, I thought that was a question. I didn't read the whole thing first. So, anyway, that's really cool. My wife actually just started freeCodeCamp within the last week or so. She's going to try to do the 100 days of code, and it's kind of cool. My wife was not really. My wife's an English professor, so not really into coding before, but it's kind of cool to be able to go through and help her out with some of the exercises. So she's going through the same thing and just starting out with it. So I hope you stick with it, and let me know if you need any help or encouragement with anything. Alright, I don't think there's any other questions. I'm going to scroll through quickly. Digital Dolly Games says freeCodeCamp needs to make C# tutorials. I don't know if there's any plans to do any C# tutorials. If it happens, it's not going to be me, because I have very limited experience with C#. So can't really give you much hope of that right now. There's no plans that I know of for that, but maybe somebody's working on it and I just don't know. Oh, cool. Umberto says that he started recording some coding sessions in C#. He's not comfortable about releasing it yet. Umberto says, especially since I'm nowhere near the quality of Jesse, DevTips, Traversy Media, and all the other already established face. So, Umberto, the fact that you mentioned me in the same sentence as DevTips makes me just super happy, because I love the DevTips show, and yeah, so if I'm like, if in your mind I'm anywhere close to that caliber of show, then that's a really big compliment for me, so I appreciate that. And also, I would say, I mean, don't worry so much about whether or not something's ready to be released. Sorry, just yawning. I'm getting really tired. Yeah, don't worry so much about whether you're ready. If you know, I don't know. When I started, I didn't really practice. If anybody goes like to my own channel, my personal channel, and watches some of my first streams, they're not good. I couldn't get the settings right, and so the quality's bad. So yeah, and I think for some of the videos, the font was so small you couldn't even see it at all. So so sometimes you figure that out, and yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of feel bad if people try to go back and watch that, watch those first videos. The quality is bad, but you know, like really quickly you catch on. So anyway, I think it's just cool. It's more encouragement if you actually have the stuff out there and you can get feedback from people and encouragement from those people, then you'll be more likely to stick with it. I know if I had just like recorded my stuff and watched it myself before I actually put it out there, I probably would have been too self-conscious about it to actually post it. But instead, just doing the live stream, it doesn't give me a chance to second guess myself because it's already out there. Which in my case ends up being a good thing because then I get my stuff out there and it otherwise wouldn't be. Oh, okay. Really quickly, I'm going to address this. I just saw some of the conversation that was happening when I was answering things previous or up near the top of the live chat. Someone, I'm trying to find who. Chaos2 is using Next.js with Create React App, which I've never heard of that. Wow. Yeah, I would say so. Sebastian said check the previous project. Yeah, so if you check out the previous project, that was with Next.js. So yeah, I've actually never heard of anyone using both before. I would imagine that there's probably an easier way to do that, and you would only really need to use one or the other depending on what you need. Patrick says the difference between you and DevTips is that he edits out periods where he is stuck. Yeah, I wonder how long my streams would really be if I edited out all the times I messed up. I would have 5-minute videos. Okay, Umberto says, I just don't want to give bad information. I want to be able to do the thing where I stress that this is, it's just I'm showing how to do it, but it's difficult to do when I feel like there's a better, correct way to do things. Yeah, Umberto, I definitely understand that. I feel the same way too. I do really want to show, so there are a lot of times when there's not necessarily a correct way, but there are some ways that may be better than others. It depends on what your goal is and your particular requirements for that project. But I definitely understand that, and I feel bad if I say something that I later find out was not the right way to do things. And so I do try to mention that, but I realize that not everybody watches every minute of every stream, so there are going to be people who probably watch something in an earlier stream and never realize that I've corrected it later on. And at this point, there's just so many streams, it would be really hard to go back and correct everything. So I totally understand that, but I think, like you said, if you just give, I frequently give the disclaimer that this is just me doing this, the best way I know how, with all, help from all of you. If people understand that coming in, that's what's going on here, then I feel better about it at least. I don't claim that this is a tutorial. So anyway. But totally up to you, certainly, if you feel comfortable or not. But it would be cool, to see them. So let me know when you do release them. I like to check them out. Like I said, I'm not really into doing anything with C#, but we do run some things with C# here at the university. I don't work on them, but it'd be cool to know a little bit more about them just to understand how things work. Because occasionally I do have to help, like right now we're down one developer in the department that works on the C# stuff, so I have to help occasionally if something is like an emergency and really needs done. Alright, so let's... Ash says, hey, can we ask questions if we don't understand something? Yes, definitely. Yeah, so I'm going to do some more coding, but before I end, I'm going to go back through and see if there's any questions, and I'll answer them all before I finish the stream. So let's do some more. Let's see, 20 minutes. How about I code for about 10 more minutes, and then I do questions, and then that way I'll be finished in about an hour, which I just don't want to push it because I don't want to lose my voice, and I'm getting tired, so I think the quality of my coding is going to go down quickly. I can already feel it's hard to focus. Alright. Oh, I guess I should figure out what I'm going to change first. See, something about that focus being difficult. Alright. Let me think of something that I can get done in 10 minutes. I guess I could check my Trello board. I guess that's done. I'll double check it. I'll put it here. Actually, let's work on this because I think this is really interesting and I've never tried this before. And I have no idea if I can get it done in 10 minutes, but I'd like to just check it out. So before we had we set up our file upload, and it's giving us a list, and it was someone, maybe Sebastian had got this working, and I think he was the one that suggested this. I'm not 100% sure, so sorry if I'm giving credit to the wrong person. But let me show you what we're talking about. So in our upload files list, you upload a few. Okay, so we have, I guess I need more, huh? Let's upload a lot of them. Okay, so right now it gets cut off and you can't see the rest, right? You can't do anything about it. So it'd be cool to scroll. Normally I'm not a huge fan of horizontal scrolling, but in this case it makes sense. It makes more sense, I think, than having them wrap, because that would just mess up the spacing too. So let's try to do a horizontal scroll. Hopefully this is as simple as just setting the overflow, and if that's the case, we can definitely get this done. But let's see, here we go. Input. Alright, let's try it out. Overflow scroll. No, it's not working. I doubt it would work to put it on here, but let's try it. Actually, we did have the overflow hidden there. Nah, it's not working. And not really anything else I could do about that, huh? Okay, so this is just a text input, and its only job is just to hold these values right now. So what if we made it a multi-line text input? It might wrap then, right? So it would be, what, a text area instead of an input? I think let's try that. I'm not sure about it, like I said, because that might end up changing the spacing, but if I can't get the horizontal scroll, then that's the next best thing. I'll have to make sure. Let's see, class file path. Hopefully everything is referencing this class name, so that if I keep the same class name, it should still work. But I guess there's one way to find out. Let's just do it. Which view is that? Service request. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot to this. Okay, here's our file upload. And there we go. Here's our input. Okay. Oops. Text area, and do we need a type on the text areas? I don't think we do. Alright, let's see how that looks. Oh goodness. Well, that looks really ugly. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just kind of worried about if it works. What we'll need to do is use the MaterialUI. Excuse me, the MaterialUI component for this, instead of just changing it to text area. Load some files. Alright, well, that, of course, is not what we want, but what should happen, though, if we're using this type of text areas, it should expand, so I'm hoping that we'll get it to expand like that. Let's see. Oops. Alright, so let's go back and text field, okay. I'm just going to copy this and remove what we don't need. Alright, let's get rid of this. Okay. Let's see what it looks like now. Oops, I never removed this one. Okay. Needs some adjustment, but doesn't look that bad so far. Yay! Alright, that's so much better. Alright, I like that. I like that, and I'm not super worried about the spacing like I thought I would be. Basically because the odds of somebody uploading this many files are slim, so not that many people will even see it. But even then, it doesn't look terrible. Below is a whole new section, so it would look a lot. It would look weird if, let's say, it was right in the middle of here, where you do have a uniform spacing, and then all of a sudden it would change. But because this space here only happens once, it doesn't really seem like it's messed up. Now, what I would like to do is make, in relation to this upload button, have this aligned a little bit better. At the very least, I'd want to have the top of this lined up with the top of this button. Probably best thing would be to have it centered, but not bad. That works. I think I do need to double check. Where else am I? I don't think that will affect anything else. I was just kind of wondering about when I get all the values to send out in the email and send our project management system. But I think it should be fine, because it's the same getting the value from a text area and from an input field is the same, as opposed to like getting a checkbox value or something. Okay, that's cool. I like that. My timer went off, so I'm going to answer some questions now, and probably before I leave today, I'll clean this up a bit and then commit that, as well as, I don't think I committed this yet, where we lined all of these up, so I'll do that too, and then that way everything on GitHub will be up to date. Okay, Ash asks, are there any repos of these projects on GitHub or Bitbucket? I want to compare with my code to see if I'm doing something wrong. And Joseph did say, look in the description. Yeah, so if you want to follow along, this is on GitHub. I do have the links in the descriptions to all the videos. So feel free to check it out, use it. I have a few people who let me know that they're using what I'm doing on this project or the last project as the basis for one of their projects, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, so feel free. And okay, Sebastian, I mentioned earlier, I thought it was Sebastian that had done the upload thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was Kevin. Yeah, it was really early on. It was a while ago, so I can't remember exactly, but we'll say Kevin. I don't think Kevin's in the live chat now, so we'll just say it was Kevin. He can let us know. I think Kevin hasn't been around the live chat for a while. He's working on his own project, and he sent me a message a few days ago telling me about it. So it's cool. Hopefully he'll get it to the point where he can share that. And if he lets me, maybe I can share a link with you all. Let's see. I think we have some more questions. Here we go. Ash asks, hey, says, by the way, Jesse, what's your coding background? Like, did you go to uni or are you self-taught? So, yeah, I do have a bachelor's degree, but it's in business. So I did complete one C++ programming course, but so that's the extent of my formal education. Maybe I did take a class in high school where we spent a couple weeks on basic HTML, but I don't know that really counts. But other than that, it's just been all online and mostly free resources. I think I spent maybe $30 on Udemy courses, and until very recently, until a few months ago when I signed up for the React Nano degree, like I literally had spent $30 or less on courses the entire time that I've been doing this. So, years I had spent that. So, which I say that because it's really, I think it's a really cool thing about this industry that someone with very little in terms of financial resources can learn enough and get a job doing this, which I think that's awesome, because so many other fields are like, it's just hard to break into unless you're already wealthy, because the cost to get in, I'm thinking like if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, unless you want to go into a lot of debt, you can't do it. You need so much money to be able to go to school for that many years to get the education you need. So anyway, I did give so on my channel, there's a link in the description. I think there's a link in the description to my channel. Otherwise, you can just look up Jesse Weigel, and it should come up on YouTube search. But I did a video kind of going through my history of learning to be a front-end developer. So if you want to know more, check that out. It's not super long. I think it's like 10 minutes. So it's not really in depth, but it'll give you kind of a nice overview of where I came from and how I got to where I am now. Utpal says, business decoding, so good, that's pretty great. Yeah. Actually, I don't think I said this on a stream before or in my video, but I guess I'll take the last minute here just to say this. It may be helpful to somebody. So when I was a teenager, I had thought about doing coding. I was always really good with computers, and a lot of people said, why don't you do computers? I have an uncle who's a programmer, and he would talk to me about it, and I had decided I didn't want to do computers because I thought if I did computers, I would just be stuck in a cubicle all day, and I wouldn't get to talk to anybody, and that would be my life. If you've ever seen the first Matrix movie, where the main character, that's literally, he has this tiny little cubicle and he just types on his keyboard all day, and it's terrible. So that's the idea I had in my mind of what I would do. And I said, no, I don't really want to do that. Now, hopefully, probably some of you are laughing when you hear that, because that's not at all what this is, right? So I had a mistaken view of what this was all about, and I probably would have been in this a lot earlier had I had a better view of things. I mean, now it seems more crazy because now you have like, it's well known that Google's offices are really cool, and I don't know, things have changed, I think, in terms of the perception of what coding is, but at least when I was a teenager, it wasn't like that. So anyway, so that's why I ended up going into business, and but I really was kind of into coding and had thought about it earlier. So it's kind of cool that I ended up back here in the end, and although I am actually sitting in an office by myself right now, I'm talking to all of you, so it's not like I'm somehow chained to a cubicle or anything like that. So anyway, so I guess the moral of my story, if there is one, is especially for those of you maybe who are younger, this would be more helpful. But don't dismiss something, a job or anything that you have interest in, without really checking it out. So like, see if you can get an internship or like shadow somebody who does that job, to really find out what it's like. Because now that I'm doing this, I love it, and it would have been really cool if I could have been doing this. Then, some of the other jobs that I've had have not been so great. So I would have much rather done this than the other things that I've done. So anyway, I think I've got all the questions. So I'm gonna wrap things up and probably get out of here early and go take a nap, I guess, if my kids let me. I'll take a nap. Oh wow, it's already Friday. I was gonna say I'll see you all tomorrow, but it's Friday. The whole week's been messed up for me. I'm really thinking about it now. It is Friday, right? Yeah, I just checked my calendar. Okay. So I will see you all on Monday, and have a great weekend. Hopefully I'll be back to 100% by Monday, and I can get some real work done on this. Thank you all so much for watching, for all your help, and have a great weekend.